Zel Boy Army, welcome to another video on the channel. For this one, we are doing a 5-3-2 squad builder. This is part one in this. If you guys like this, I've not really done too many squad builders on my channel, but it's something that gets requested a lot. I will do a part two with more expensive team. For this one, we're doing a 100k and a 500k team. So I'll talk through this team, why I've picked it, and then we'll show you the 500k team. If you like this and you want to see an updated one, a 1 mil, 2.5 mil that I've got, then I'll do that next week. But just, I need to know if people like these type of videos, of course. So for this one, you're going to notice there's obviously an 100k team. Every player in this team is pretty cheap. And one of the keys in this team is getting players on good chemistry links. So when you're building cheap teams, you might be able to find some very good players for 20 to 30k special cards in Forbes that are super cheap, but they might completely mess up the chemistry. So it's important in these cheap teams to find players with strong links. That's why you can see we've got like Pope, Gomez, Walker, Renato Sanchez to Gelson Martins. Ben Yedder's a good nation that links everyone in. Every player in this team, except for Furl and Mendy, is going to be on full chemistry. And when you're using a cheap team, full chemistry is really important to get the max boosts for your team in terms of like, if you get a 100, you want the plus 10 pace. If you don't get great chemistry, then these players are going to really struggle. The defense is worth a lot more than the rest of the team, to be honest, in terms of average price. And the reason I've done that is because on FIFA 21, you can get a very good defense for very cheap, but you can't get the elite attackers for cheap. So rather than try and put most of the budget into attackers who won't give that much of a boost, I put a little more of the budget into the defenders who will be very good for the price. Pope is a must really in a cheap team. The best cheap keeper in the game, 6'7", very solid stats. He doesn't have elite stats, but being 6'7" just seems to give him an edge on a lot of keepers on this game. And importantly, he is a strong link to our two centre-backs. Walker's not on full chem actually. Mendy, I said, wasn't. Walker isn't either because it's not a centre-back version of Walker. But you'll still be able to get him on 7 chem once he has loyalty and an English or Premier League manager. And a 7 chem Walker is still going to be fantastic. One of the things that's so good about Walker, and the reason a lot of people use fullbacks, centre-backs this year, is pace. Pace is so important, and in a cheap team, you can't afford to go for slow centre-backs because you'll just get destroyed by through balls. This Walker's amazing, even off chem. I've used him off chem in my own God squads this year. He's not going to be as good as the 86 centre-back on chem, but he's not a mile worse for a much cheaper price, coming like 15, 20k. And he's still got good physical stats and he's good on the ball. So Walker is a must in a cheap team. I think Joe Gomez the same. Pacey, good defending. He feels really good, man, compared to what you'd expect. Like, he looks good, but he plays even better in game. Big Joe is just an absolute animal on this game. And him, Pope, and Walker are an amazing trio to have at the back in a cheap team. Nelson Semedo, a little bit off the curve now, a little bit weak, but he's still very good. He's good on the ball. He's quick. He's got solid defending. His passing's okay. He has the 4-star skills, which is quite nice, with decent weak foot. He's not going to light the world on fire, but he is a pretty decent option for the cheap price of a few thousand coins at this point. Mendy, I will have said it before, he is always going to be one of the very best meta fullbacks on the game. He hasn't had a special card this year, but hopefully he'll get one soon. Regardless though, this 83 Mendy, you could use him on the last day of FIFA 21 and he'd still be okay. Yes, he's not the best left back in the game right now, but he's up there as one of the better ones. Pacey, good defending, solid on the ball, great physical for an 83, and he has great skill moves and weak foot, so he will not let you down. If you have a Premier League manager and a French manager, or a La Liga manager and an English, then you'll be able to get him and Walker an extra chemistry. Now, you're probably thinking of this team, how's it going to line up in the 5-3-2? Well, the way I would be setting it up would be Walker, Gomez, and Semedo at centre-back. Mendy would be my left wing back. Gelson Martins would be my right wing back. My two more defensive centre mids would be Sissoko and Renato Sanchez. We'll get to them, but they're obviously more defensively minded. Marshall would be my middle centre mid. Not great defending, but fast and a good attacker. And you have to make some sacrifice in such a cheap team. but we still managed to get 2 5-star weak foots in the attack in Ousmane Dembele and Ben Yedder in terms of the 2 strikers. But looking at our midfield, Moussa Sissoko, high, nice box to box. Obviously, in a cheap team, you have to have some players who just aren't the best all round. 3-star, not great, but he's great physically, good passing, okay on the ball with solid all round stats. He ain't great, but like I say, you're going to have some sacrifices. You can't have a God squad at 100k. Renato Sanchez gives us the force 4. Quick, very good physically, very good, well-rounded, an insane card for a 78. And that's one of the reasons that his 82, his 84 are still so popular. And long-term, if you use a team like this and you're upgraded, you can always upgrade to his inform for a better version. Martial, bit of a weak link being the centre-mid here. Like, I don't really want to play him at centre-mid, but I'm kind of forced to have to put a cheap player in. He ain't going to be great defensively, but going forward, he's going to be pretty good. He's good on the ball. He's quick. With 100, you can get him to 99 pace with 95 finishing. Attacking from deep, he's going to do you well. Gelson Martin's at the right wing-back position. Quick, great on the ball. Doesn't have the best shooting, so out wide, it's not going to be as big an issue. His defending's not actually that bad for an attacking player at 51. He's obviously very weak, but he has the stamina, the high to go up and down all game. A decent right wing back on a budget with great chemistry links for Renato and Ben Yedder. Ben Yedder and Ousmane Dembele, don't really need to say too much about them. They're obviously beasts. With a hunter, you can get them both to really quick with great finishing. Dembele, you can maybe put a finisher on him to get him to 90 finishing. Ben Yedder, obviously, going to be an animal. The 2 5-star weak foots are amazing up front. In such a cheap team to have 2 5-star weak foots who are good on the ball, pretty fast, that is a big bonus. Let's go look at the 500k team now and see where we've upgraded. Obviously, as well, guys, when I'm talking about teams like this, you can change a few options. What I say doesn't have to be complete. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly how I say it. Yeah, I think it was this one. Let me make sure I get it right. Yeah, there we go. You can change a few players out. If you've got a few untradables, red picks, you might want to fit them in. I'm not saying you have to religiously stick to these teams, but these teams are going to be pretty good in my opinion. For this team, we're going to have Varane, Gomez and Walker as the centre-backs. Mendy and Martial as the wing-backs. I'm going to have Mahrez as the left centre-mid. Bruno as the right centre-mid. De Bruyne as the middle centre-mid. And then Ousmane and João Felix up front. So you can see here, we've made big upgrades in the midfield. Renato Sanchez out for Bruno and Sissoko out for Kevin De Bruyne are big upgrades on the technical side. Maybe these guys aren't quite as good defending, but we've got a big boost to our attacking stats. And then Varane out. Varane's replaced Semedo and allowed us to have Walker in on full chem. Varane is one of the very elite non-special cards on this game. He's probably going to get an inform this week. So who knows? You build this team, then you get a red pick Varane. You are laughing. But this Varane is an outrageously good player. 6'3", rapid, very high defending stats, good physically, and he gives us that triple link to Mendy so everyone gets on full chem. We've already talked about Gomez and Walker, but they're going to be brilliant for the team. Mendy, again, we've talked about him. But Bruno and KDB, we're getting some nice boosts now to our attacking players. As centre mids, they're going to be very good. I'm putting KDB in the middle centre mid role because even though he's a bit slow, he's going to have 5-star weak foot, which when he's attacking for us, get him on a hunter. He's got high finishing, great shooting all round, 5-star weak foot, pretty decent, well-rounded stats. He's going to be really good for us and allow us to be more creative in the middle. And like I say, again, this 500k is still a cheap team. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. So we're getting a very good technical player, but we lose a bit of pace. Bruno with his high as an outside centre mid is going to be amazing. Can run all game. Very well-rounded card. Mahrez, more of an attacker. You could put him at wing-back if you wanted to put Martial in for more physical. Medium's not bad to play at centre mid. He obviously doesn't have the defending, but he's a very good technical player in the midfield. Will be great on the ball, can open teams up. Martial as a wing-back lacks the defending, but in this formation, you can often play the wing-backs as very attacking players. I've played Mbappe and Neymar there, and it's worked for me before. We've talked about Ousmane up front, and then we've got João Felix. João Felix is nice because he links Bruno in. It's an informed version of João Felix, so he's going to be one of the more expensive players in this team, but he's a very good card for an 84. 4-star weak foot, 5-star skills, pacey with a hoodie, you get 96 sprint speed, high finishing, great on the ball, pretty good physically. I think he is an upgrade on Ben Yedder for the all-round stats. And then Usman's obviously a beast for his price. I think this team's a nice upgrade, getting the Varane in. Amara is an upgrade, we're getting better technical players. Obviously, you can change things around a bit. If you've done some of the objective cards, like got Van Bergen and Gravenberch, you could fit them in. But I've not put cards like that in because I don't know if people have not completed them or if some of these have expired, etc. So those are the two teams. Let me know what you think, boys. Would you like to see a part 2 at a higher budget? I appreciate you guys' support. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you are having a great evening. Peace.